This is Emmy from Emmy's Art Stuff, and today I am starting up officially my very first YouTube video for my channel. I'm really pumped about this because I would like to start making videos at least once or twice a month, doing these kind of pieces where I can just kind of sit down, relax, paint, and maybe tell you a little bit about what's going on with my life and a little bit of what my thought process is behind the artwork that I'm doing. I just want to say up front that I've seen a lot of these kind of videos on YouTube, and the art community on here is really strong and it's super beautiful. I'm a little late to the game on starting into the YouTube world, so I'm a little nervous, a little bit trepidatious about what's going to happen moving forward, but I guess I'm just excited to get this started and kind of put myself out there a little bit more and hopefully grow as an artist and an individual. So the piece that I'm working on here, I've lovingly titled Space-Napple because it's just a pineapple in space, and I do love a good little bit of wordplay in there. I had some prompts that I decided to follow for this month to kind of kick off the month and sort of just do a little bit more than I usually do and step out of my comfort zone a little bit. And one of the prompts for this month was draw a piece of fruit in space. And I thought that was kind of an interesting idea, so I was just kind of trying to come up with an idea that would be appropriate as far as fruit in space. And a pineapple seemed a little bit odd in a good way. So he's just kind of floating out there, and I'm just kind of here at the beginning trying to figure out what I want to do as far as like the lighting goes. Before I started this piece, I did a small swatch where I kind of figured out what colors I wanted to put on here. I'm also using the Arteza half pan set of paints, and it is 36 colors. And I just want to say up front, I am not associated with nor sponsored by anybody like Arteza or Arches, but I do love Arteza. I would love to be affiliated with them in the future. Hopefully that's an option. And Arches paper has been the best watercolor paper I've ever come across. It's pretty expensive, but it's super worth the cost just for the simple fact that the paint just, it's like butter. I'm telling you, I've been painting on the wrong kinds of watercolor paper for years and had no idea that was a thing up until about 6-7 months ago when I started really taking my watercolor very seriously. And when I found this paper, I was like, oh, I didn't know what good quality paper was. So I was really pumped to find this paper. And like I said, it's expensive, so I tend to order the larger books of paper. Like I think mine is 9x12 or something along those lines. And then I can usually cut a piece of paper into two different sizes. Usually a 5x7 or so is what I kind of go for. That way I get my money's worth out of the pieces. But with this one, I was just like, I'm gonna do an open painting. It's gonna be huge, and I'm gonna just attack this challenge today. And to be honest, it took most of the day. But anyway, I guess I'm a little bit getting off track. I'm sure that's gonna be a normal thing that you'll see in my videos. But a little bit about myself. I am 29 years old. I'm going to be 30 next month. The big 3-0. Straight out of high school, I knew I wanted to go into an artistic field, but I had no idea really what. And through a lot of circumstances, I'll explain at a different time, I kind of came to this realization that my love was in animation. And I was like, sure, I'm going to go for it. So there's a lot in here that just needs a lot of explaining, but basically I ended up taking off from my hometown, which is a very small town, and moving to Chicago to pursue animation. It was a lot. In the best way possible, it was a lot. But I moved to Chicago. I started college there. It was like a huge culture shock moving to a city from a small town and like getting to see all the diversity and everything that's different from a small town and a city. I pretty much learned in the nutshell of about 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, I got this. I found I acclimated pretty well to that city. So I started school for animation there in about 2014, and I graduated a couple of years later. My fellow and I decided to move back to Indiana, and we started our lives here, and that's where we are now. It's been a few years. We moved back, I think, 2017. And we've been here ever since, and I'm getting my sea legs. I've always had a love for making videos and film work and stuff like that, so my animation education sort of led into doing more of that. I eventually got hired as a video specialist and pretty much took over a video department for a company. There were a lot of learning experiences that I take away from that, even though in the end it really wasn't for me, that particular company, but that doesn't go to say that it was a bad thing, for sure. Since then, I've just been kind of working on my own art stuff, trying to figure out my style and my love, maybe do some commissions here and there. I've had pretty decent success for being where I am, but I can't wait to branch out and start doing more things. So I'm starting this YouTube channel to kind of push myself to do something that's out of my comfort zone. I don't really like to put my face or voice out there, I guess, in the world, but in the industry that I'm really dreaming about being in, you have to sort of put yourself out there in a different way for people to see who you are and what you're really about. It's more than just social media. It's more than Instagram or Facebook. It's more than YouTube. It's kind of a culmination of all of those things as I'm learning. So this is just the first step on a very long and very entertaining journey. I really look forward to seeing what comes out of this, because I think it's going to be a really good time. And I think that people are really going to enjoy what I have to put out there. At least I hope so anyway. So that's a little bit about me and where I come from and kind of what I hope to accomplish with these videos. In the future, I'd like to start telling some stories about my life and things that I've experienced. I've been through a hell of a lot just going on to 30. At least I feel that way. I mean, maybe once I start putting those stories out there, you can tell me I'm full of shit. But in the meantime, I hope to put out some more of these videos talking about my life experiences and maybe interacting with you guys and seeing what you would like to hear or what you would like to see. Maybe you want me to shut up about my life and you want me to just paint something and talk about that. Either way, I'll figure it out. But thank you so much for joining me today. Please follow me on Instagram at Emmy's Art Stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click that button, baby. It's gonna be worth it, I promise you. So for this piece, I ended up doing gouache for the background sky, which is the galaxy kind of look that I really, really enjoy. And then I used white gouache to do the stars on this one, and a little bit of white gouache to do the outline of the pineapple or the Space-Napple. That was really fun, but really frustrating because the water from my paintbrush kept reactivating the gouache underneath, so the white outline ended up being kind of purple, which as I went along, I was like, I kind of really dig this, so I wasn't really upset about it. I think it turned out pretty well. Super colorful, super starry, galaxy, fun times. I think it kind of gives you a pretty good look into the style that I like to play with, and it's really fun. I've had a blast so far making this, and I'm really looking forward to what I can come up with for next month. So this is going to be a good 2020, guys. I've got a good feeling about this, and I can't wait to do more. Until next time, stay creative.